And so your business and the way that it's set up has to tell a story. The third mistake that we see is trying to fund a business that's improperly set up. So I'll define for you an improper setup. If you have a business that you have an LLC for and you have no idea what the EIN is, that's an improper setup because you need the EIN in order for you to actually apply for these business trade lines. If you have a business and let's say you are marking it down like it's in the consulting space, but you are in the trucking industry, that's improperly classified. That's also going to get you flagged, especially with how banks are starting to underwrite going into the new year and the new systems that they're using. And so your business and the way that it's set up has to tell a story. This means that you are classified in the right business, you have the right subcategory, and you have the right trade. In English, Irv. This means that if I am in business management, I do consulting, and let's say I do business consulting for small entrepreneurs who are looking to scale their business with funding, which is ultimately what we do. I was able to properly encapsulate that on a business credit application. You want to be able to do that on a business credit application, and you also want to be able to do that when you are speaking to a business banker. There's nothing that's going to turn off the bank more or make them weary of you when they ask you, okay, so what do you do for a living? Or what's your business involved in? Or how does your business generate revenue? And you're oohing and you're umming and you're kind of like at a loss for words. And so do yourself a favor before you even walk into a bank and before you try to credit stack your way into a multiple 6-figure round and you start inching that up into a 7-figure round, you want to be very careful on what you're putting on applications because banks are taking that information and they can kind of like cross-pollinate. So if you had maybe a business credit application where you put, oh, I'm an LLC, and then all of a sudden on another business credit application, you put, oh no, I'm an S Corp. And then all of a sudden on another business application, you put a different classification code from what you put in the first two, that's gonna raise a red flag because the 3 systems that you wanna pay attention to is going to be LexisNexis, it's going to be early warning system, and then you have the SBFE, which is a small business financial exchange. All of these systems are going to communicate to each other, even if they're communicating to each other indirectly because all of the information is getting pulled from the same databases. And so the minute that information doesn't start to line up with the story that you told Bank A is different from the story that you told Bank C, which is different from what you told Bank C, that's when you start getting what I call a sea of red across the board, which is automatic denials. You don't want that. You want to avoid that at all costs, which is why I'm giving you this information.